Right, folks, how are we doing? Top of the table Super Rugby clash coming up between the Chiefs and the Hurricanes. 1 against 2, but the Chiefs are at home. So it could be a bit of a tasty one. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to set this up. We drop this down. It brings up the score. Whoa, no, don't remind me of that. Holy smokes, I don't need any reminders. No. I don't want to see that. That's bad memories. Let's update that link to the new one. Ugh, goodness me, yuck. Yuck. There we go. That's the one we want. Up a little bit, down a little bit. Maybe just about there. There we go. Goodness me. Gave me a fright. AA Underdog says 13 plus. For who? 13 plus for the Canes or for the Chiefs? Surely you mean Canes. Flesh and Man, how's it going? Good morning to your part of the world. How are you, sir? Davey Beast has come on the Hurricanes from Scotland. Scottish connection is real with the Canes, isn't it? Looks like Finau is out. So if he's in your fantasy team, you better switch him out quick smart because they don't allow you to make that change after the game starts. Hobbit reckons the North Island teams are looking great. Yeah, Blues are doing all right, even though we got spanked last week. Chiefs and Hurricanes top of the table so far. So, yeah. Frankie, man, good evening. Not only clash of the weekend, but perhaps clash of the season. Yeah, I mean, I think the Hurricanes... if they're not the TAB's current favourite, the bookies, they are bloody close to it. And the Chiefs came into the season as favourites. So, yeah, pretty much kind of clash of the season stuff, isn't it? Let's see, who they got? The Chiefs and Hurricanes are both at evens with the bookies at the moment. Both at $2.75. The next best is the Crusaders and Blues at $7. So these are the two teams. This could be a preview of the final, essentially. Big pressure for Jacobson. Yeah, the All Blacks loose forward combination is pretty competitive, isn't it? Could certainly use a big game. Fleshin is aching from laying flooring yesterday. Well, let's drink to that, eh? Crack open a beer for all that bloody hard work you've been doing. There we go, sir. Good evening, everybody. Good morning to Fleshin and his part of the world. The rest of you guys up in the north. Not necessarily the north, but in different time zones. I've just had kickoff. Let's see when the clock kicks over to 10 seconds. Now, 10 seconds. For anybody looking to match up. Frankie needs an extra trivia beer to recover from the previous scoreline. If you missed the first few seconds of the stream, I accidentally put up last week's score. That was a blast from the past. I didn't need. 30 seconds in. Canes are going to box kick from halfway. It doesn't get any distance on it. It gets plenty of height. But Canes have got it back. Morby's got it, so they'll keep attacking. Sub is in Pretoria. Wet and cold. It's been kind of unseasonably warm here in Auckland, man. Even though it's on the way to winter. It was like 20 odd degrees today, so it was pretty comfortable. But yeah, hopefully it stops raining. Unless you need the rain, I hope it keeps raining. Battle of DMAC and Love as well. Yeah, for sure. There's lots of good battles here, eh? Ratsamo and Roygaard is probably not really as much a battle as Love and DMAC, because Roigard is the clear guy ahead at 9, but... Oh, loose pass from the Chiefs, and it looks like Whinianganofo going to run away with it, but the ref has blown his whistle. Goodness me. There was a knock-on in the build-up. Alaran is a Chiefs man, so he'll be back in the Chiefs. Jules, the Force fan, picking the Canes because they're on a streak. The Blues were part of that streak, sadly, for my Blues. Are you going to the Force game later, Jules, against the Crusaders? Hobbit reckons we've been waiting for this. Chiefs 27, Canes 26. Darramundi, man, how's it going? And yeah, that was a long knock-on advantage. Underdog. Watching and having a double whopper combo. There we go. That works. Wow, pack weights are exactly the same. Both 920 kilos. Hope you can get a win, Jules. Your team could certainly use it, but long trip back from Fiji. Seems like there's more Canes fans in here than Chiefs. Is anybody picking the Chiefs apart from Alaran and Hobbit? Canes have just won themselves a turnover after Tamoifolau had a wee run. So it's a good start from both sides. It's kind of tentative. Did I watch Pacific Force, Frankie? I watched the first 5 or 10 minutes of the Canada Black Ferns game. It was delayed start with some weather. Saw the Canadians score their first try, and then I had to go out, so I didn't see the rest of it, but I saw the score. Sad to see Moana going under Darramundi. It is. It sucks because there's a bunch of people who will now be out of work. The only positive I can see from it is the competition will be easier to schedule with an even number of teams. Fleshton's going for the Chiefs because he has one of their shirts. Well, there you go. That'll do. Hollywood, goodness me. The 2 a.m. man strikes again. How's it going, sir? Good to see you. We're 4 minutes in. Refs give them both teams a wee bit of a lecture. Don't come running in. 2 penalties against the Chiefs already. Canes are going to go for touch. Oh no, AI! They're not going for the 3. They're going for touch. Isaiah Walker-Lea were to give you a yellow Alaran. It's pretty much guaranteed. Put that on like your drinking bingo card or something. Walker-Lea were for a dumb penalty. Oh, the Canes have lost the line out. Oh, the Chiefs have been charged down. Goodness me. It's all going on. Chiefs will give a second bite at it from deep in the goal area. So D-Mac's clearance makes it to the 22-meter line, just outside. So Canes can go again, but from a bit further away. Hollywood got up for this one rather than staying up. That's brutal. The 2 a.m. wake up sucks. It absolutely sucks. But good on you, man. You're a champion for doing it again. Good to have you here at 2 a.m. It's a comfortable 7:10 p.m. here. And I got the house to myself because my kids and my wife are out at a friend's place. Well, Canes have had all the pressure. Do you feel like they could use some points here, eh? That'll be a moral victory for the Chiefs if they can come away with not conceding any points unscathed. The Canes are happy just to keep going up the guts. There goes Geordie. Oh, they got advantage. This one's straight out in front, so, well, not quite straight out in front, but pretty close to in front. If they want the 3, it's there. Come on. You got to score here with advantage. No, there's a knock on. They're back for the neck roll. What do? 3 penalties against your boys already, Alaram. It's adding up. Pick and go is no good. It wasn't getting far, but they did get at least the 1 penalty. Scrum. As a stats man, is there any out there about games with and without yellow cards percentage-wise? I haven't looked into that. That could be an interesting one to track, though. Again, they're not taking the 3. They're not going for touch. It's midfield scrum. What have the Canes got up their sleeves? It's been 7 minutes of pressure. It's been relentless. They just flashed the territory up, and it's like a 90-10. Aileron's giving the ref an 8 out of 20. Sorry, I don't have that emoji. Play the ball. Lakai. If that was the set play, I'm underwhelmed. It's just a pick and go from Lakai. Roygaard. They're 3 meters out. Advantage again. Oh my goodness. The Chiefs are going to get yellow card warned if this keeps up. They're going wide. They got to score here. In the corner. It was coming. It backs. Well, it confirms. It justifies their decision not to go for 3. Canes have scored wide from Morby. And there was just a man over. Ruben Love. Billy Proctor. Yeah, Tupaia can't finish the tackle on him. Morby goes around him. My feed is about 2 minutes ahead of my stream. How can you be 2 minutes ahead? Kick's gone too far around. How can you be 2? Are you watching on TV or are you watching on streaming? Well, it's 5-0. Missed the conversion, but it looks bloody windy. 30 seconds in front seems about right. I can't be 2 minutes behind, surely. I'm on TV and I'm 4 minutes ahead. Impossible. I'm live. I'm in New Zealand. Although I know TV does go faster than streaming services. Streaming's usually slower and I'm streaming, so... It'd be funny if I popped up a... Because I'm watching officially on Sky's app. I wonder if I tried a dodgy website whether it would be slower or faster. That would be hilarious if it was ahead. Predict any bolters for the All Blacks this year, Jules. I think the guy that gets talked about the most is Tangitau on the wing. But he did get injured last night against the Blues when he was playing for the Highlanders. He's got to be there or thereabouts. Devin Flanders, the loose forward for the Hurricanes, getting talked about a lot. He's been having a good season. Frankie's on a TV. That might make sense. The TVs are always ahead of the streaming services. It's just quicker. Josh Morby scored. Dev. There was so much pressure for the Canes. They would just camp down the Chiefs half for the first 7 odd minutes. Turned down multiple shots at goal. And scored out wide. Good try. Missed conversion. I'm on a dodgy website and it's ahead of your stream. It's ahead of YouTube as normal because YouTube takes another 10 or 30 odd seconds, I think. Like for the time it films from this camera, it goes to YouTube and sends out to you. It adds to a delay. So I'm kind of delayed upon delayed. But yeah, maybe I should try one. What are your thoughts on Artie potentially going to the Blues next season? Perfect timing for the Blues. Yeah, well, you know when Artie left the Hurricanes, the rumor was that there was bad blood between him and the Canes management because they refused to re-sign Julian Savia. So he felt kind of betrayed. That's why he went to Moana, supposedly. That was the big rumor. So if he goes back to the Canes, then I guess either all is forgiven or that rumor was bullcrap. But if he doesn't go back to the Canes, but the Canes have got plenty of good loosies, then maybe there was some legitimacy in it. I don't know. I appreciate you, Mark. Appreciate it, Scott. Thank you for the kind words. Another bloody winger there, but he's definitely one of those. Yeah, well, we're all right for wingers, to be fair. But Caleb, his dad works with my mum. So that'd be quite cool. I met his dad the other day. So that'd be quite cool. Not that it means anything. All I did was shake the guy's hand and just say, your son's a pretty good rugby player. That was about as far as the interaction went, but it'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Also heard he wants to stay in Auckland because of his ties to this clothing brand. That wouldn't surprise me as well. Bodie only came to Auckland because his missus wanted to live in Auckland. So if you want to do business, it will make sense to be in Auckland. Leroy did blow that. That was a big knock on from the Chiefs LRM. They were looking all right. That was their best period of pressure thus far. I still think Leroy should have been quicker last week, despite the fact that he was tired and he got run down by Pellegrini. Maybe he's more acceleration and less top-end speed. I don't know. Some guys are slow off the mark, but they get going. Other guys are quick through the gaps, but don't have the huge top-end speed, you know what I mean? Didn't know Bodie was whipped like that. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Oh, Chiefs have just stolen Kane's line-out ball. Here we go. What can they do? Unstructured defense for the Canes. But it's slow ball from the Chiefs. D-Mac reverses direction. Here we go. Another chance for the Chiefs. It's a bit ugly at the minute. Turn of a ball. Oh, Milo, aka Junaid, how's it going, brother? Do I dare ask which part of the world you're in at the moment, mate? Ollie Who Matisse. Why do I know that guy? He's going to get his debut. I feel like I've seen that name before. Maybe from NPC. Sydney flying back home. Oh, fair enough. Are you in the airport at the moment? Not watching the game. It's 5-0 to the Canes. Chiefs have knocked on a few too many balls. Ruben Love for Huck, and it's a nice ball, but there's a bit of obstruction. Segner's a very underrated player, says Frankie. He has been getting a little bit of the love recently in terms of people like just saying how good he's been playing. So that's at least one thing. Excuse me. Another penalty against the Canes. Black Ferns were class Canada tonight. Tight game while they pulled away. Both sides missing a few plays to the Hong Kong Sevens. Yeah, I only saw a little bit of the start, and then I saw the final score. So it's good because the Black Ferns went into that one as slight underdogs. Boarding as we speak. Hope the family was and home was safe with the cyclone. We were all good. Thankfully, Auckland hardly got touched. So thank you, brother. Safe flight home. Take care of yourself, my friend. Geordie seems a bit off. Still early. We're still only, 18 minutes in? We'll see. Another scrappy line out. Lineouts have not been great, although the Chiefs still got the ball back on their own throw. Scott reckons the Canes are going to smash them in the second. Gee, I've only taken one note so far, and we're almost 20 minutes into the game. I better add some details, eh? There we go. Summed up the other 10 minutes in one sentence. Someone's lost a boot, and the Canes are going to kick clear. Regard finds touch with his left boot. Chiefs will have a liner on halfway. See if they can get something going. So these are the best two teams this season. You might not know it to look at it at the moment, Junaid, mate. But maybe the fact that neither's getting on top also means it's good. Like if it was all cutting each other to bits and flash and sexy stuff so far, maybe then it would be like that old stereotype about Super Rugby being too open. It was a tight game for 60 minutes. Canada were rightfully slight favourites, had done a lot with very few resources. That's the one thing that troubles me about women's rugby for Canada going forward, is they will have very little resource in it. Like Canada's men's rugby team used to be a lot better, but once the game went professional, they fell behind. So that could well happen with the women as well. As the women's game gets more professional. There goes Josh Lord. Oh, but the Chiefs have just chucked a pass to a Hurricanes player. Who was that? Was that Numia with the intercept? Goodness me. The Canes prop. But then he's just been pinged for not releasing. Goodness me. I haven't watched enough of the season, says Milo. Best games to go and watch back. Well, not last week's Blues game against the Hurricanes, because we got annihilated. Yeah, no, don't watch that one. Reds Crusaders last week was pretty good. If you want to watch one from last week, yeah, it's probably a good watch. Jordan, yeah, I can see you. Despite the fact that your name's Jordan, you're not a big fan of Geordie. Right. Chiefs are in the similar position. Oh, they line out scrappy. Similar position to the Canes earlier. They are turning the screws. And probably need some points to come from it. Yesterday's Blues game was a ripper. It was, although I wasn't very chuffed with the way my Blues kind of almost folded like a bloody house of cards at the end. Go and watch the Canes versus Blues. Nah, don't bother with that one. That game was terrible. That game was terrible. Randy. Your old Randy Viper. We will never win a competition with Buddy Barrett. Cheers, Randy. That's the first super chat of the night. Thank you, my friend. Funnily enough, the year we did win it, wasn't he off in Japan? He was off on sabbatical. We had old Harry Plummer pulling the strings that year. But thank you, my friend. And yes, Milo, 12 out of 20. And yes, of course, I would pick a game where the Crusaders lost. What can I say? I am an Aucklander at heart. Oh, man, Numia straight over the ball. I'm a Blues fan too. I was shitting myself, but you can't deny it was entertaining. Yeah, it was like 87 points in that game. It was bonkers. I think the Canes are playing into the wind as well, so the Chiefs really could use some points. Have the Satyrs and the Blues played yet? We did. We beat them at Eden Park. I went to that game. It was 29-13. Crusaders didn't score a point in the second half. I was hoping to go watch the Force pump the Cheat Satyrs, but got work early morning tomorrow. Got work on a Sunday. I hope they're paying you good, man. Someone said Geordie's missed some tackles so far. Let's check out the missed tackle count at the next break and play. Big high ball for Tamoy Flower. He takes that all right. Chiefs are going to have to box kick here. No. Out to D-Mac. Love has got a good read on it. They're trying to keep the ball alive. I feel like the Canes just look a little bit more dangerous. Although then Roygaard's just kicked it straight into a defender. Come on, Coops Fable, have a run. Oh, he's not been able to regather it. Goodness me, it's all over the shop. Also, is the YouTube algorithm playing up, or are there no 2CGD episodes of being blind? Junaid, Tony got married and then went to Thailand for his honeymoon. So there hasn't been a 2CGD for about a month, but we're filming one on Monday. So we'll be back. 2CGDs with Tony will be back. Everyone's favorite rugby YouTube podcast, me and Tony from Distracted Sports. Yep. He's back in New Zealand now. All right, let's check the missed tackle count. Where's Geordie? Geordie Barrett's made 3. How many has he missed, if any? according to the stats people. Tackles missed. Geordie Barrett's at 2. So 3 from 5 is not great numbers. Tupaia has also missed 2. This reminds me of the season we won. Didn't we beat the Canes in the semi and go through to the final? The season we won, the Canes finished first on the log, but then they lost to the Chiefs in the semi. If I remember rightly, I think we beat the Brumbies. And then because the Chiefs won, they had to come to us. If we had played the Hurricanes, it would have been in Wellington. Geordie is overrated too. Who's the best Barrett then? Scotty, Geordie, or Bodie? They love Geordie at Leinster. He was cracking for them. We beat the Brumbies in the semis. J-Boy remembers it the same way I do. Our Great 12 Nonu beat lots of defenders. I feel like they underutilized Laumape when he was in New Zealand, you know what I mean? Like, that guy could frickin' bust tackles. And they asked him to add kicking to his game, and he did, and they didn't pick him. It was bizarre. Geordie and Tupaia just came into contact. This time the Chiefs are going to opt for a 3. And we do have Tavatava Nawai. That is true. He's the best buster of tackles in Super Rugby, period. Well, the Chiefs have got points on the board. They needed that because the territory stats have evened up a lot since those first kind of 10 minutes. Brumbies in with a shout of hosting a semi. They're, I think, 4th at the moment. But one of these teams is going to lose today, obviously. And the Brumbies will have the Drua later. So the Brumbies should win that one. So the Brumbies are definitely still in with a shout. You live in Asia, don't you? I live in Auckland, funnily enough. I used to live in China, but that was many, many, many years ago. I was at that semi-final against the Brumbies, taking my boy to his first game. We had a cheap seat tickets, and some random bloke offered me spare tickets to a crazy corporate box. Bro, that's awesome. I took my kids to the final a week later, but I didn't get any corporate box. Worried my son expects corporate box kids every week now. Yeah, fair enough. I once won corporate tickets to a NPC game. That's probably the first rugby game I took my kids to because my son was only like 4 and my daughter would have been like 1, 2. So they were really little. But it was like corporate enough that you could sit in the sheltered area, but not corporate enough that I could go get free food. So it wasn't quite that nice a ticket. Oh, look at that. Milo's been a channel member for 11 months on Gazamania. Cheers, man. There is channel memberships of this channel, so you know, they're real cheap. You get emojis and shit. On you, Milo. Oh, Darramundi's 12 months. On you, Darramundi. Look at you. Was soaking wet at the finals. I remember buying tickets which were covered to the finals. Look at all those emojis. Goodness me. Darramundi's whipping up the red cards. Milo's got the booms. There's some cowbell. That's all going on with channel memberships. What can I say? Wonderful channel members. Thank you, one and all. Are the boxes any good? I don't like the idea of sitting behind a glass panel. You could, if you wanted to go out the glass panel, go out and sit on seats which were kind of looking over the stadium. So you could. You had the choice of sitting in the indoor part or the outdoor part. So far, Tokiaho's got 11 carries. Geordie Barrett's got 7. Quinn Tupaya's got 6. Quinn Tupaya, Geordie Barrett. Who's got more meters? Scroll down, scroll down. Geordie Barrett's got 5 meters. So that's not great go forward. Quinn Tupaya's got 12. Neither is really standing out that much there. I feel outdone by Darramundi by 1 month. I guess once you get past the year mark, it probably stops counting in months, mate. Don't worry about it. Milo, you're still there. Look at you. Look at you. Nobody's past that. But yeah, thank you guys for being a channel member. Man, this first half is low scoring, but it's kind of flown by. 34 minutes. Kane's line out. Good hard rugby, anyone's game. Yeah, no, it's been good all around. It's not been a bad watch. It's, defense, breaking down attacks, turnovers. My grandma could beat Tossie in a scrum. She might be pretty good scrummager, your grandma. My grandmas could not beat Tossie in a scrum because they're both dead. Geordie is a god and we'll have him for keepsies anytime, says Joseph C. Joseph's here to fly the flag for Geordie Barrett because he's been copping some stick in this stream. Ooh, Harkin's kick there is not the greatest. Geordie is an interesting story because he went from being like the least favoured Barrett to maybe now the most favoured Barrett. Like back in, was it 2018 when we lost to the Box in Wellington? He threw that quick line-out ball. It was all the talk about how he'd been promoted through the All Blacks ranks too fast. I mean, he'd been fast-tracked because he was a Barrett and it was unfair and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, he's doing all right in terms of his selections nowadays. Frankie, cheers, man. We need more first phase attack. There's a lot of close range carries, but they're not getting the kind of advantage line carries that allow them to spread it wide. Canes could have been done. Oh, they've lost it forward, the Chiefs. Roygaard's going to kick and chase. Oh, nice tip on play. D-Max isolated, but he's not brought down. Geez, D-Max done really well there. He's not the biggest guy, but he could have well got himself isolated. But yeah, cheers again. Thank you, Frankie. Long-time supporter of the stream. Thank you, pal. Footy Finn. The Reds, man. Your team's on the bye. So who have you got this week? Chiefs, Canes. Was there a fourth Barrett brother? There was. Kane Barrett played some games for the Blues, but then took concussion and never came back from it. He had concussion really early on in his career. Never recovered from it. So he's like some kind of farmer, like sells livestock or something like that. I've seen him on somebody's podcast. Time check, Frankie. We are at 37:10, or at least it would have been, but they cut the clock away from the... Who's got the most dominant tackles so far? It feels like there's been a few. Isaiah Walker-Leah-Were with 2 is leading the way. Oh, here goes Almoa! Poor, jeez, he's brought down just short. He is such a wrecking ball of a human. Was that Carter with a big tackle there on the second phase? Canes are going close. Try time. Peter Lakai, the man who started it with the strip. He gets the second try of the game. Got this on mute because my wife is here. What's the score? The score is there. But it's now 10 points because the Canes have just scored. Almoa started that with a big old carry over the advantage line. I'm just writing a wee note about that. A big try from Peter Lakai. Just too much space there. Chiefs forwards didn't have time to come around the corner. Three points to 12. The conversion is over. Will I be doing an ABs in Aussie form 15? Yeah, at some point I need to, eh? That'd be quite a good one. I'll have to get some stats out though. You know I love me the stats. I started 2 minutes and 10 seconds ahead. When you gave the time check, it was only 40 seconds. 40 seconds sounds about right. That's not too bad. Yes, Footy Finn. I put the score there. That's the score. And the time. That's the chat. There's the number of viewers. And there's me. And there's the last tips. That's all the things that go on that screen. Half time. Half time. I've got some trivia coming your guys' way in a sec. I just want to go back and look at that Canes try. Yeah, why was Jacobson so slow there? It's just a second too slow, and that's all it took. Before the stats, it is trivia time. Yes. Yes. The stats take a couple of minutes to update, so I like to do something between stats. And like the stream, says Milo. Yes, like. That's free. Channel memberships cost $1. But liking is free. What was I looking for? The bottle cap. With some trivia. Yes, the Crusaders game away to the Force, which Jules is going to later, is on kind of late. Not if you're in Western Australia, probably not. It's on at 11:55 New Zealand time, so more or less midnight. So I'll probably watch that one tomorrow. All right. What the? Name the iconic... Oh. Okay, it's a pretty random question. If you guys... Yeah, 7:55 Jules' time. That's normally quick time for you guys. It's a bit late here. Midnight. A little bit late. Here we go. If anyone knows the answer to this, I will be surprised. But hey, maybe some of you guys are really into this kind of thing. Name the iconic off-road racing event that finishes at Arrowtown. Anybody? Can we get to 50 likes and Milo will gift some memberships? There you go, folks. There's your incentive. Drop a like on the stream for a chance for a gifted membership, because Milo is a generous, I was going to put a swear in here, but fellow. Thinking of going over 24 and a half canes at full time. Don't ask me. Back later, footy fin. All right, pal. See you in a bit. Pinot Palisade is not correct. Is that the rally? I don't know. It just says, I don't even know the answer. The off-road racing. Some wild ride is not correct. Dakar Rally just guessed. No, it's not that. Any other guesses? Anybody else? Nobody? It's called the Motatapu. That's the name of an island here in Auckland, but I never knew it was the name of an off-road event. So there you go. Like the stream if you haven't. Let's get to some stats. Oh, they're doing the catch a kernel. Hold on. We got to do catch a kernel. I got to see. This is like this is actually genuinely pretty entertaining halftime entertainment. Go. Run. He slipped. Go. Run. Run. Oh, he's got a mullet. Both of them have got mullets. Of course, it's bloody Hamilton. Oh, they both smashed it. Both barefoot. They've both smashed the kernel. They're going to get themselves some free KFC. KFC must have a deal with Sky because they actually show the halftime entertainment every week now. $12 more likes. Keep on liking, folks. And we'll get to some stats. Colonel's forgotten to run for the last few weeks. Yeah, he was just sitting there, wasn't he? They never pushed start on the Colonel, but the one of the races slipped over. Possession is 52-48 to the Chiefs. Territory 61-39 to the Chiefs. It was not that at the start of the game. Run meters 155 to 186 to the Canes. How many carries? Carries 70 each. So that means the Canes have been getting a little bit more with the same amount. Turnovers one. I think that's the key stat because it is 3 to 8. The Canes have been turning over the Chiefs boys. Milo's already on his flight. He's hearing the safety vid. He's not going to be able to stay online for much longer. Can we get to 50 likes, please, before he takes off? do it, folks. 50 likes. You can do it. You can do it. How many are we away? Chuck a like, folks. Don't do 2 because then you can't, then it unlikes it. SS2, man, how's it going? Like the stream if you've just joined. Janae's going to gift memberships. Where do I get the stats? These ones are from Rugby Pass. Of all the stadiums you've been to other than Eden Park, which is your favourite? I like the stadium down in Hamilton. It's a square. Not a square, a rectangle. You can get really close to the action. Not like the Cake Tin where you're kind of sitting miles from the game. Kuna ran 8-second 100 metres in the grand final last year. No one was beating that, not even Usain Bolt. Oh, there he goes. Look at that. Did we get to 50 or did Milo run out of time? Cheers, Milo. I'm sure we'll get there. Oh, Milo, you're way too generous. Thank you, my friend, as always. Safe flight. Safe flight, my friend. You can watch the second half when you get back home. What a dude. What was I about to say? Someone said something. Oh, when are the Crusaders playing their game at their opening their new stadium? That's next week. It's for Anzac. Next week. So yeah, it should be quite interesting. It's supposed to be a cracking new stadium. Apollo felt close to the ground as well. I suppose so, but it was made of scaffolding. I never received a gift. Not why. I think you might have to have it turned on. I'm not sure. Bring the earplugs to the new stadium. It's going to be the loudest rugby stadium in the world. Hopefully it gets good crowds, eh? It's pretty big. I hate the TAB lady. The TAB segments do genuinely suck. Generally. Yeah, the TAB segments are not good. Like, I don't mind putting a few bucks here and there on the games, but I know that for some people it's a real big issue. So it always feels a bit dodgy. When does Auckland get a new stadium? I don't know. I don't think we are. If they were going to do that, they should have done it for the 2011 Rugby World Cup. They thought about it and decided against it. They went with the cheap option and just upgraded Eden Park. Anyway, coming to South Africa for the greatest rivalry tour. I've tried to talk my missus into it. I don't get the feeling it's going to happen, but it'll happen one day. I still think they should have built 40 to 45 capacity, but what's going to go in there? Like, when are they going to get 40 to 45k apart from All Blacks games? If anything, I think we need smaller stadiums, eh? I start to think that the Northern Hemisphere folks might be the ones that have got it right because they get most of their teams in like a 10,000 seater stadium, sell them out every week. It's a cracking atmosphere. It's loud. It's like got a electricity about like the vibe because it's just so intense. And then they put the big games at Twickenham or Stade de France or whatever, Principality in Wales, you know? I don't know. Hope Mama 2 Cents is doing well. She's going good, thank you. Milo, mate, she is up visiting her friends who live just north of Auckland this weekend. So, The economy is so bad, but there's a lack of advertising for sports events in Auckland. It's never going to get a new stadium, but they're going to get a new cricket place. Yeah. The Warriors get good crowds without having to need advertising for it. Auckland FC seems to get pretty good crowds, although I don't follow it. Lancaster Park used to get like 48,000. If they can get 48,000, or if they sell out that new stadium week in, week out, I will be, colour me surprised, because I don't think it's a draw like it kind of used to be. Like Eden Park used to get much bigger crowds for Super Rugby as well. But anyway. How's Auckland's public transports, buses, trains, and etc.? If you compare it to other parts of New Zealand, it's probably pretty good, Frankie. If you compare it to the rest of the world, it's probably pretty shit. Wireland is Auckland. Let me ask you guys a question. For those of you who live outside Auckland, how big are the Warriors? Because I can tell you, here in Auckland, you're far more likely to have a casual sports conversation about the Warriors than you are Super Rugby. 100%. Like, I went to Tony's stag do, and there was a shitload of... He knows a lot of people, Tony. And like, a lot of these guys are from like the North Shore, which is traditionally a rugby heartland. But I swear, way more of them wanted to talk about the Warriors than Super Rugby. Some of them were anticipating the All Blacks, but no one was like talking to me about Super Rugby results, really. But is that just an Auckland thing, or is that nationwide? In Christchurch, my former employers had more interest in league than union, but outside them, not much. Well, see, that's the same with like my mum's employer. It's also more into league than union. Jordan says we don't care about the Warriors in the South Island. Well, Frankie's in Christchurch, so that's the South Island. Yeah, they are popular. It's the same in Wellington and the Hut. Yeah. I get the feeling that the Warriors attract a lot more casual sports fans than Super Rugby. But so do the ABs. You know what I mean? NRL is a club thing. Their matches sell out in Christchurch, but they have the advantage of exclusivity. Yeah, that's the thing. It's hard to know. If you only have one game a year or whatever down somewhere, it's more likely to get a good crowd. Second half is underway, by the way. For a time check, we're at 40 minutes and 15 seconds now. Will New Zealand get a second NRL team? It's been talked about, but I'm not sure how close it will be, because I think it's Perth and Papua New Guinea next on the agenda, isn't it? The Blues had crazy ticket sales for that 2024 final. I think that's the thing, that's a final. And finals get casual fans attracted. But like I said, I don't think that many casual fans follow Super Rugby. Hey, Rock and Roddy also joined into the Gazamanianist. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, pal. You got some emoji access and stuff now, just FYI. How do I stream my rugby games? I'm watching on Sky Sports, so I paid for it. Top 14 blows every club, union, or league out of the water in terms of attendance atmosphere. I did have a look last year or so. Oh, the Canes have missed touch. Last year, and the top 14 in the NRL are pretty similar in terms of their broadcast deal, attendances. I think the NRL, like it's such a mega powerhouse comp, but it's the pinnacle basically, isn't it? Whereas in Union, it's more like league, more like international. Simon wants to describe himself as a casual, but you're a nutker. You follow lots of teams, Simon. You follow more than one sport. So, yeah. Live games are like movie tickets, is frankly not the problem, but the foods and drinks at the venue are the problem. Just your opinion. I got to admit, like the tickets to Super Rugby are not that expensive. The tickets are like 20 something bucks for the cheap tickets. At least at the Blues. 20 something dollars. It's not unreasonable, but if you buy like 2 beers, you're probably already in for more than the cost of the tickets. They do really, really kill you on that, that's for sure. Finally moving, make sure we get the 50 likes, gang, says Milo. Cheers, Milo. Again, safe travels. And as Milo said, if you haven't liked the stream, like it. He's trying to get us to 50. The game day experience is terrible, though. I think part of the game day experience is the sparse seatings. I think if you put the Blues in a small stadium, like a 10,000 or a 15,000 seater, it would have way better vibe. Like if it's sold out. There's such a vibe about having sold out games. Like you go to All Blacks game, it's sold out. There's someone next to you, you start talking to them. You feel their reactions when like big hits come in. You can, I don't know, it's just a vibe. But when there's like 10 seats either side of you, it's hard to get a vibe going on. Frankie's stream shows 50 likes. Oh, good man. We got there for Milo. The cake tin is awful. You're so far from the action in the cake tin. I don't like it. I sat front row in the cake tin and I felt like I was miles away. It's terrible. Forsyth Bar, I've also been there and it's quite good. Yeah. Although those tickets I bought were way too far from the sideline, so I didn't like that. Am I going to watch the NHL playoffs? My Islanders didn't make it, so I probably won't watch much. I might watch the Stanley Cup final. With the NHL, I'm kind of like a one-team guy. Like I don't watch games which don't involve my team. You know what I mean? Some sports you get like that. The NRL, says Daramundi, is an amazingly run league. Its benefits really only top league pro comp. That's true. The NRL is kind of like the NBA or whatever. It's the pinnacle. That's why it always... The Chiefs are very close to the line here. It always makes me feel a bit frustrated when people compare Super Rugby to the NRL. Because it's not apples with apples. The pinnacle of rugby union is like the Rugby World Cup. Comparing the Rugby World Cup with the Rugby League World Cup is like comparing Super Rugby with the NRL. Oh, Tupai. Not Tupai. That's the new guy. What's his name? It's just short. They're just different levels. Anyway. Maybe the Blues can play a few at North Harbour next year. They used to. I remember going to see the Blues play these guys at North Harbour Stadium. You guys recognise this jersey, don't you? Canadian pro football teams are 25 to 35k. Do they get good attendance? The old CFL. Chiefs very close to the start of the second half. Alaran, mate, your team's so close. Line out time. Oh, they've lost the line out. Who plays club rugby at Twickenham? Nobody, Frankie. Apart from the odd, like Quins against, who is it game? Like once a season? Quins play at the Stoop next door. Who? The Sunwolves. You can't tell if that's a wolf. That's a wolf's teeth. Sunwolves. Sunwolves. See? That's a wolf's mouth. Should Eden Park then be exclusive to the All Blacks? Like, if you had, like, if this was like a Sim City game where you could just demolish all the stadiums, it would probably make more economic sense. Oh, the Chiefs are so close. For all the Super Rugby teams to play in a 10,000 seater or 15,000 seater and just have one big ground for the All Blacks games, wherever it is, probably Auckland. But we're not really used to traveling for sports the same way as, like, surely they've got it. Finally got it. Simon Parker got it. Oh, that was some hard work for the Chiefs, but they got it. Geez, that was hard work. Wow. Alaran's happy. Because then you wouldn't have big stadiums for the All Blacks and matches in other towns cities. Other countries don't do it that way. Like the Northern Hemisphere doesn't do that. They play pretty much all the big games in Paris, in London, in Dublin. And people are just used to traveling. But in New Zealand, we're not used to it. Same in Australia, South Africa. In the South, we just do it differently. So we have big stadiums fucking all over the place. But most of the time, they don't get used much. It was a really nice tip from Dyer, by the way. It's 12 points to 10. I'm already angry Auckland is getting 2 tests. To be fair, Jordan, the thing is, if we did have all the games in Auckland, man, would people show up? I don't know. Argentina also rotate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Southern Hemisphere countries tend to rotate it round. Like the France plays the odd game outside of the Stade de France. But pretty much all the other ones play all their games at the one stadium. Like if you're from, I don't know, Manchester, you've got to go down to London to watch England play rugby. You can't expect them to come up and have a game at Old Trafford or something. How long would Eden Park records last? Yeah, not that long. Auckland Local Council want Eden Park full of events, mainly concerts, and add sporting events to try and keep that ground being used, Simon. Yeah, finally, I think Eden Park has been allowed consent to have a shitload of concerts from now on, which makes so much sense. You've got a big stadium sitting there doing bugger all for the majority of the year. You need to use it for concerts. Other events, just use it. Otherwise, it just loses money. The ABs are playing Chicago this year. Yeah, bloody hell, the All Blacks like to take their games all over the shop. More money. Oh, the Chiefs have just shut down the Canes Mall. That means the Canes can't bounce back with a bounce back score. It's still 2-pointer. Very good Mall defense. Oh, yeah, it is Baltimore. Yeah, you're right. It is Baltimore. I wasn't even thinking either. They have played in Chicago. Chicago was against Ireland. San Diego with Fiji. And then Baltimore with the old box. Jordan reckons Baltimore's a hole. I can't say I've been there, but wasn't The Wire set in Baltimore? That was a good TV show. Although I haven't watched it for years. I think the National Stadium in football and rugby are seen as iconic venues where as a kid you remember your first visit and would like to play in. Yeah, it's just interesting, isn't it, that the North and South seem to have different strategies with those. Like Italy move a fair few of their games around, to be fair. They don't play all their games in Rome. I think they rotate more than the other Six Nations unions anyway. And the Wire was Baltimore. There we go. Hey, Wallace Satiti's coming on. We haven't seen him for a wee while. So Jerome Brown's going to go off. So surely Jacobson goes to 7. Oh, Tony Johnson just said the same thing as me. There we go. Chiefs have won their line out. My wife has family in Baltimore, and I've been there loads, and Jordan is right outside of the center. It's not pleasant. Ugh. Okay. Jordan was not exaggerating. It has one of the highest murder rates. Yeah, I think that's why The Wire was set in Baltimore, right? Because it's a city with a bit of crime. I've never been to the States, so I do not know. That's going to go dead. Oh, it's just held up. It's not going dead. Cheap. Kane's got a bit lucky with that kick. Larger stadiums in New Zealand are not intimate, and intimacy brings environment atmosphere. Michael, you are correct. One thing I like about this stadium is it's more compact. Eden Park is kind of spread. Oh, it's how Moifalau is having a carry out of his own 22 from the mark. Martin Devlin has been there and was laughing when he said they were going to be there. I met Martin Devlin. Just saying, when I was on his show. Tony from Distracted Sports organised that, by the way. But that was quite fun. The old DSPN. I'm just writing a note about car and tell my fill out. Great collab, says Rock Rider. Yeah, it was quite fun. Good guy. Orange Theory Stadium has great intimacy, hence why so many wins. Yeah, you might be right. Glad you enjoyed it, Jordan, because it was genuinely fun to make, although I'm lazy and tend to not organise that kind of stuff. Tony was the guy, because Tony likes Martin Devlin a lot, so he was the guy who got the ball rolling. I also like Martin Devlin a lot, but I'm lazy to organise that kind of thing. Knock on from the Chiefs. We're going to have a scrum. That was the one thing when I went to Tony's stag do. Is none of his mates, bar one, watch any of the 2 Cents Gets Distracted stuff. But most of them had seen him on Devlin and said, oh, that was great when you guys went on Martin Devlin's show. Mark, have I watched The Boys? It starts to Kiwis. I've never watched The Boys, but I used to watch that guy, what's his name, Anthony Starr, when he was in that show where he plays the thief who gets released from jail. There's heaps of just sex and violence in that show. What was it called? Oh, he gets out from jail and he tracks down his old missus and he becomes a sheriff. He takes the identity of some sheriff and then lives the life as a sheriff, but he's also a badass. Can't remember. Whoa, that was close. Whose line-out ball is this going to be? Banshee, that's the one. Banshee. That was a great show. Hurricanes are really threatening here, folks. They're going to have an attacking line out. Chiefs are holding on for grim death at the minute. Anthony Starr is also in The Boys. Yeah, that's why David was asking if I seen The Boys. I said no, but I know Anthony Starr from Banshee. I think you should have DSPN on 2 Cents Gets Distracted. It might be harder to get Marty Devlin out to Tony's place in West Auckland, or was also where I live, rather than us go into his Central City studio. Frankie, oh man. Has New Zealand rugby ever had a more important player in any position other than Roy Gard? Cheers, man. Thank you for that. Greatly appreciated, as always. Long-time supporter of the channel. For a while, Dan Carter at 10 was just so far ahead of every other guy around him. It was nuts. It was like Dan, fall off a cliff, next guy. So that's one, at least in my lifetime. That's why Tony's always banging on about League to get his mates on the podcast. Tony just likes League. Who else have we had that was just world class? And like the only one we had in that position. Mark, Tony, Marty, and Lockie. What a combo. We won 2011 without Dan. Yeah, but wasn't it prior to 2011? And even then, I still think it was a pretty big drop to like Colin Slade. Like Roigard to Ratima or Roigard to Hotham, Carter at peak to Colin Slade is probably a similar parallel, right? Canes need a score here. It's been such a big period of pressure. That was offside by a mile. Free chance for the Canes. Dresden rates Roigard the same way. I'm going to do a video about him soon, I think. Because his stats are pretty fun. Put it that way. Lomu was that man. Lomu was incredible. Oh, the Canes are so close. Roigard just got smashed. Tohiaka with that tackle. Proctor just got smashed. He tried to dummy. They've scored. Asafa Almua. And he looks mad. Holy cow. So much Hurricanes pressure. Like, how many guys went close? They had advantage. Like, Roigard was close. Proctor was close. Almua is a wrecking ball. Is he going to get this? If he gets it, it's a 2-score game. He's missed it. He's just pushed it wide. It's still a 1-score game. Yeah, Almua just went through Ratsuma and like gives him the look of disgust on the ground. Right. For Jordan's sake, let's have a look up the stats for Geordie Barrett. Let's see where he's been at. Geordie Barrett's having a wee sneaky carry. All right, Geordie Barrett, 10 carries. How many meters? $15 meters. That's low. 1.5 meters a carry is kind of bad. But meters are generally low in this game thus far. It's been more of a defensive game. Tackles, Geordie Barrett's made 16. And he has missed 3. So 16 from 19 is all right. Has he busted any tackles? He's had like, what did I say, 15 carries? Or no, 10 carries. How many? He's busted 3 tackles. Has he had any line breaks? He has not. How about Tupaya? Let's have a look. Quincy Tupaya, 7 carries for 13 meters. So he's like 2 meters a carry, which is also not great. But it's better than Barrett. Michael's sniffing a golden point job. He might be right. There's still 15 minutes to go. Do you think the All Blacks can beat France considering there may be players unavailable? I think we can beat France. Yes, I do. I think we can beat France. I also think France can beat us, but we can definitely beat France. All right, there's a scrum, so I'll give you one quick trivia question. It's a rugby-related one. Name the player that was sent off, the only player that was sent off in Super Rugby Aotearoa in 2021. Any ideas? I'll give you a clue. It's a Blues player with a low number. Rock reckons Ruben Love will win us the World Cup in 2031. 2031. It's a wee while away. Scotty Barrett, Theo Tompkinson. No. It's a Blues player with a low jersey number. It's a prop. Alex Hodgman. There you go, Jordan. Well done, pal. Well done. I didn't remember that. Chiefs turn for a 5-meter line out. 14 or 13 minutes to go. Oh, they've stolen it, the Hurricanes. Derns with the steal. What a steal. Big moment. Who wins us the 2027 Rugby World Cup? Randy Viper's favourite player, surely. Bodie Barrett with the conversion. Jordan's favourite player with the try. Maybe. Derns is bloody good. You're not wrong. Do you think mandatory resting of players over a bye week is better, Frankie? Oh, man. I am... How do I put this? I don't like the fact that Super Rugby players have to take rests for fear of overworking. I know that for their health and well-being, it's kind of necessary or important. But I do think it undermines the competition. Like NRL teams would not be like, oh, you can't play for the Warriors this week because you've got a big Kiwis game or Kangaroos game coming up and we can't overwork you, right? The top 14 players play a shitload more games than the Super Rugby guys do. Like, at one point I counted up how many games Thomas Ramos played in one season for Toulouse and France, because he played basically all their games for France, and then Will Jordan's games for the All Blacks and the Crusaders, because he played basically a full season as well. And Ramos had played a shitload more games. So I think there's capacity for them to play more. I don't like the mandatory rest. I think it sends the message that Super Rugby doesn't matter, personally. But I understand why they do it, because I know that players are not animals and they need to rest and stay healthy. But like I said, I don't like it. It sucks when you're like, oh, this is a big game this week. Oh, but this guy can't play because he's on a mandatory rest period. Or both sides have just knocked it on. I can understand wanting players to have a rest week on a 25 plus games per year season, but Super Rugby isn't long enough to really justify it. You and me, Daramundi, are on the same page. really on the same page. Like 2025, how many games did Ramos play? It's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 28 games Ramos played in 2025. 28 games. Because he played most of his games for Toulouse and most of his games for France. How many did Will Jordan play? It wasn't that many. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23. 23? 23? 24, 12, 26, 27? I can't remember. I can't do maths while I'm live streaming at the same time. Mandatory rest is dumb, says Hollywood. In fact, the big problem is that club games are treated like second-tier events. Yeah. I think that's 100% correct. It sends the message that the club games don't mean as much as the international games. And it's harder to get people to buy into something which they're literally being signaled is not that important. Why are New Zealand TV commentators so biased? What have they been saying? I don't think the New Zealand ones are too bad. Justin Harrison's pretty bad on the Aussie comms. Like Morgan Turanui's a lot more balanced from the Aussies. Man, the Chiefs have only got 9 minutes. This feels like they're being squeezed out of the game. There are no commentators as biased as the Afrikaans ones. Yeah, I can't understand them, so I'm not sure what they're saying. I know the Corso ones are very passionate. And Matt Pearce, South African commentator in English, is pretty good. He calls it pretty much down the middle. Oh, the Canes have just knocked on. Here we go. Turnover ball. Leroy Carter. Oh, the offload. Oh, the golden point possibility is well on. Oh, my goodness, that came out of nowhere. This game was not looking likely that the Chiefs had to go miles. Holy smokes. What a try. Oh, the offload from Carter, the chicken wing. Oh, my goodness. Turnover ball. Leroy Carter showed a bit of gas. Held the ball. And then the pass to Sinkinson. Oh, my goodness. Whew. What a try. Look at the Chiefs coaching staff. Goodness me. We could be going golden point. Someone called it earlier. Hurricanes, turnover ball. Satiti gather. Carter line break. Hold. Offload. Sinkinson dry. It is 17-17. Whew. Who doesn't love a good chicken wing? Exactly. Right, folks, do we see a winner in the next 6 minutes? Oh, scrappy line out. Now it's Chiefs ball. First team to score either penalty goal, or drop goal. Winnaboo be at 10 minutes. Then it'll be a draw. We haven't seen Super Point for ages. Frankie's TAB multi still seems to be. Oh, you got the Chiefs for your TAB multi. I don't think. Yeah, it's a tough game to put a multi on, eh? Oh, you got the Canes, but by less than 7. Okay. Surely whoever gets the chance next takes the shot at goal. Oh, dramatic. When will the pod return? I'm seeing Tony on Monday. He's back from his honeymoon, so the pod is coming back. Chiefs have got to go into the win, so if they're going to go for the penalty, like the commentators are saying, it needs to be close. Can the Chiefs win their own line out? That is the first key point. Yeah, well, the Canes don't contest it, so yes, they can. Oh, they got advantage, so they can get a wee bit closer. Oh, D-Max just lost it forward. Jeez. Right, well, they got another penalty, so back for the advantage. Not going to be a drop goal into the wind, not going to be a try, says Michael. Yeah, maybe. D-Mac needs to get good distance in this one, at least halfway into the 22. What? D-Mac's going to have a shot at goal. I thought for sure they would go on touch. I can't see. He can't get that, surely. Alaran, you're a Chiefs fan. Even you don't think he's going to slot it. Surely, no. 46 meters. He's going to have to boot the leather off it. Yeah, the wind is right into their faces, the Chiefs this half. Nah, it doesn't have the distance or the direction. But they had the kick chase, so yeah. But that wasn't even close. That was they should have gone for they they should have gone for touch. Jules, yeah, it'll go super point if they can't find a winner in the next minute and a half. Right, Chiefs have got one more crack. One more chance. Can the Chiefs win their own line out? Canes contest and they steal it. It's another steal. Oh, the Chiefs have turned it over. He could probably kick it from here. It's straight out in front, 25 meters. Oh, this is brutal. Come on, no knock-ons. We don't want to finish with this, we don't want to finish with a whimper. Turnover at the breakdown. Canes have just kicked way long. McKenzie's going to have a crack. He's isolated. Lakai's over the ball. Chiefs have still retained it. Holy shit. Oh. Yeah, they're going to kick it out. Jeez. Crazy. Crazy. Does that bugger anyone's multi? Does that make it a draw, or does it only if the game finishes in a draw? Does your bet include full time? Bonus time, how does it work? Yeah, next score wins for 10 minutes. Yeah. Crazy finish. Surely it can't finish in a draw. Nobody wants a draw. Clark Laidlaw thought it was a penalty. Oh, man. The tension is for real. First team to score either a try, penalty goal, drop goal. So just next score. Who has the wind behind their backs? The Chiefs had it into their faces at the second half. Do they swap ends? Do they toss a coin? Okay, the Canes get to choose the direction, so they'll go with the wind. Come on, we've got to have a score. We can't end in a draw. No, draws suck. We don't want to draw. Let's get a win. Somebody. Love Mrs. Kid the Kid. Yeah, he should have been able to kick that last one, Frankie. That was a very kickable last conversion. Hello? Can you open the door for it? Oh, you don't have keys? No. Okay. Hold on a second. My wife and children are home, but they didn't have keys to get in. And I locked the door. A draw is the honest result. Two teams given the rule, and this is how it ends. Terrible idea to someone to lose after that. Yeah, I suppose that's actually true. Although they've kind of gone with the American concept of no draws in their games. Now, there's not been that much Super Point and Super Rugby in the past, but I certainly remember watching it in the past where both teams just played territory for 10 minutes and it was boring. That can happen. Roy guards off. It's a big call. Fresh legs. It can still be a draw. Yeah, it's 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes. If at the end of 10 minutes it's still tied up, it's a draw. Jeez, the lineouts have been an issue. But anyway, Inari's going to make the kick. Taimoifalau secures it. The Canes are going to swarm the breakdown, but they can't get any ball. Chiefs will kick it long. This might be the story of the Golden Point, surely. They're going to carry, set up a phase. Yep, another kick. But yeah, there's no distance on that one. The guy who kicked it just gathered it because it didn't go anywhere. Duplessis Karifi is the game's top tackler, so he's probably not been too invisible. He's at 18. And Geordie's on 17, funnily enough. Geordie Barrett with a kick. Graham Mann, cheers. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Waiting to see if we can get a winner for this game. Footy Finn, you're back. Game's still going. Got extra time. They're edging their way towards the 22-metre line. The Chiefs have just got themselves a turnover. Whoa, this is a game of turnovers. The Chiefs are going to have to do it with ball in hand. Here goes D-Mac. Gets rid of a tackler. Boy, he's been brought down. Quick ball, Chiefs. Oh, it's another steal. Jesus, there's turnovers each way. Come on. It's going to be maybe the battle of the... Rover's kick. I thought it was going to go on the full, but Tom Moifulas grabbed it. He's going wide. There's numbers here for the Chiefs. If he can find... If he can free the hands... Go right, Chiefs. Go. Oh, here we go. D-Mac. Sinkinson. Satiti. Oh, he's brought down. Holy shit, they're in the 22. He's isolated as Jacob. Oh, that was... Wow, what's his face? Parker. Oh my goodness, my heart's pounding and I don't even have a bloody horse in this race. Kumiroa's having an attack, big carry. It's a quick ball again. Even with the wind, they could droppy from here. They're right out in front. Here it is, the droppy. Oh, it's charged down. But Satiti's grabbed it and fucking scored anyway. They got to check that. What? 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 Ben saying it's a clear try, no issues. As long as he's on... Yeah, there's no offside because it's a charge down. Game! Oh, shit! What a finish! Although that's fucked Frankie's multi. Sorry, Frankie. Oh my goodness. What an ending. What an ending. I feel stressed. And I'm a neutral for that game. I don't even care who wins. Elleran, how are you feeling? Holy cow. Chiefs fans. Commiserations to Hurricanes fans, but that was a hell of an ending. Oh. Derns with the charge down. Amazing. D-Mac looked forlorn. What a try. Oh my goodness. I can breathe after that. What a finish. To be fair, I'm against Oldham Point, but if they all ended up like that, you're all for them. I guess that's what Golden Point is set up for. Goodness me. That's a... Yeah. That's a crazy finish. Crazy finish. Yeah, it finishes with regular point scoring, as far as I'm aware, Hollywood. So, yeah. Jules, good luck to your team against the Crusaders a bit later. If it's half as entertaining as that, it'll be a good game. I've noticed the odds have been shifting. The Force are still underdogs, but the odds have been shifting to the Force for a little while. Like the Crusaders were bigger favourites than they are, I think. So, yeah. And Hobbit's wife is telling him to shut up. My wife hasn't said anything yet, but I've got the door shut, so maybe that's why. But yeah, thank you folks for being here. That was a cracking one to share with you guys and girls. I hope you're having a good morning or evening, wherever you're at. And Podcast with Tony is back next week. So I'll catch you guys for that. And match reviews, previews, stats, all the jazz. It's a coming. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for being here. For the people who became channel members, and Frankie for the old super chats and whatnot. Yeah. Take care, guys. See you again soon. Bye-bye.